Hello, everyone. We are here. It's the spring fishing tourney, as if I need that. We are back to start the long process of fixing all of the problems on my island. Where do I even start? Oh my god. Yeah. You know how you're always like, I'll leave it till later, like I'm not gonna worry about that now, but then you really are essentially setting yourself up for like the ultimate letdown when you forget that you left something in a complete state of disarray. And so yeah, this is what I'm currently dealing with here. I can't believe that I left all of this out. I can't breathe. So yeah, we gotta focus on that. I have to clean. I'll just start this by showing you guys kind of all the goals that we have. So obviously we've got to deal with all of this. That's a no-brainer. But there's several other things that I want to mess around with. There's Zell. Zell, you don't have to wear, you know what? He somehow found a way to make that hat fashion. I don't know what it is about him. Like he made it it's like a bucket hat. He looks like an Urban Outfitters model right now. You're amazing, Zell. You're amazing. I'm constantly in awe of you. Hey, CJ, wedding season's coming up. Anyway, yeah, lots to do. And yeah, I am starting to think about Pom Pom and Pierce's wedding, and you guys are gonna have to give me your opinion. Like, do you think that they're gonna roll out new wedding stuff? Like, was that a one-time deal? Do you think they'll put even if they put like one or two new wedding items out every year? I think I want to wait until wedding season hits, just so that because I know if we do the wedding before wedding season and then they come out with like awesome new wedding shit, I'm gonna be so pissed, you know? Because like Pom Pom only has one wedding, so I want it to be good. You know what I mean? But we have lots of wedding events coming up, and of course, if you're my patron, I'm starting to kind of flesh out and plan her wedding shower. You guys are gonna be invited to that. But yeah, before I have anybody set foot on this island, we got to clean it up, right, Sherby? So yeah, me and Sherb, we're still working together. We're partners in crime, for better or worse. I love that he's not wearing one of the bucket hats. He's wearing a proper serial killer friggin' page boy hat, whatever the hell that thing is. Oh, Diana, look at you. You're gorgeous, Diana. Your makeup looks amazing today. You're stunning. Yeah, there's a lot to do. Oh, fuck. I gotta clean this up. Shit. There's like other people here on the island. CJ's gonna call the cops. Fuck. Speaking of Sherb, I have an idea that I'm gonna do for him. When even is Sherb's birthday? Not me getting super distracted in the beginning of this video. When's Sherb's birthday? Hold on. His birthday's January 18th. He's a Capricorn. Wow. Missed that shit all the way. He's a Capricorn. That actually does make sense. Anyway, yeah, lots to do. We've got this over here, looking kind of cute, but nothing is quite right now. There's like, when I say there's a lot to do, I truly mean that. Oh my God, Marina, what is going on here? Yeah, no, this isn't allowed. We actually have rules against this. Marina, listen, please don't stoop to this level. Please don't stoop to this level. Goose, I swear to God. Honestly, I really hope she's just doing this for fun. She just had a wild hair. She felt like making a boy cry. Goose was like, you want to go fishing with me for the fishing tourney? And she was like, sure. I don't even want to think about that right now. I have too much on my plate to think about carrying anything even remotely resembling Marina and Goose. I can't do that right now. Also, the other day, I wish I had recorded it, but I saw Sherb like on the loading screen. He was like back here. Isn't that so funny? So it got me thinking. Great, I played myself. Yep, I played myself. Anyway, I'm like destroying flowers. That's fine. It got me thinking. Maybe we should make a little secret area for Sherb to do his thing. You know, that way it's contained. It's somewhere that, at least he's not out on the streets doing it. This fucking tree like will not grow. What the hell is up with this? Oh, it's driving me crazy. Probably don't even need the orchard, but whatever. I mean, it's kind of cute. I don't know. Yeah, lots to do. The plaza, obviously, we already talked about. I love this little area here. Like, I love my little field. I love it. It's so cute. And I think that it could be even cuter. I think we could really add some shit. But I think we could do something more with it. And also, look at the weeds. Holy shit. Like, I'm thinking of making like a little secret area down here or something for sure to do his thing, to do his bidding. You know what I mean? A place where I know where he is, so he's contained. And he's also kind of able to, I don't know, get away with it, I guess is the word I'm looking for. This area obviously needs some work. I think I'm just done with flowers. I initially set this up to be like a flower breeding area, but I don't care anymore. Yeah, I don't. I'm not trying to like do anything crazy. So God, where do I even start? It really does. It gives you that feeling of like, I don't even know. There's so much to do that I don't even know where the fuck to start. Wow, I actually caught that. That's a shock. A shock to the community. So yeah, there's so much. There's just so much, but it's fine. Also, not me dressed as like the little girl from The Orphan. Just checking in. I probably have like no money. I don't know why I'm doing this, and everybody's gonna be in my fucking way because it's the fishing tourney. It's fine. Oh, fuck you. Yeah, you know what? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Yeah, shaming me for having money when I have more money than you people could even dream of, than both of you could ever spend in a lifetime. You don't get to shame me for money. Okay, no, twins, listen, I know that your uncle is rich, but so am I, okay? And if I wanted to, I could put that man right out of business. I could take all of these people on this island, move them off, and start my own little island getaway package, okay? So don't shame me for not having money because I could purchase both of your entire lives. And every day I wake up and choose not to do that, okay? So show some respect. No. Just when I warm up to them, just when I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, they do that. Oh my God, now I have access to all these people's posters that I brought over to interview or used in my little music. Wow, Ken's poster? Ken's poster? How dare you? How dare you? He knows exactly what he's doing. Who is that? Who even is that? Never saw the man in my life. Never have I seen that man in all of my life. Not me. Oh, Sable's poster? How cute is that? Don't order it yet because, oh my God. Horrifying. Horrifying. Oh, Wade, what are you doing? You little fucking, oh, I could kill him for being so damn cute. I miss Sucky. Anyway, yeah, let's take a look at some, did I get all the pom-pom purring shit? Ugh, a butt rug? Come on. Okay, so I have so much to do that I know how I do things, and it's probably annoying, and I apologize in advance, but I cannot do things like in a linear fashion. So what I mean by that is like I'll be working on one area and then I'll go sell some shit because my pockets are full, and then I'll see something and it'll distract me and I'll start working on that area, and eventually it all comes together, but it isn't linear. There's no pattern to it. So I've decided I'm just gonna talk, I'm just gonna answer questions, I'll interact with villagers if there's like drama, if I need to jump in and somebody's punching someone else, but I don't think, just for the safety of everyone, that it's a good idea for me to try to like talk you through this, the methods to my madness. I think I'm just gonna let you kind of see it all come together, which is what I'm doing as well, because I really kind of have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Like I might show you like glimpses of everything, and then I'm gonna pull it all together, and then I'm gonna do a new island tour, and you'll get to see like the finished product of everything, okay? So yeah, that's what we'll do. And so while I run around and just wildly do that, I also wanted to start answering some patron questions, because I love to hear myself talk, apparently, even though I really don't, but I'm glad you do. Really am. This first question that kind of just jumped right out at me is amazing, especially because it's something that I've been dealing with a lot lately, but just kind of overall in my life. It's by my amazing friend Libby. They asked, any tips for getting through social anxiety? I feel like it's gonna ruin my life. I do too. Not to make you feel even worse, wow. Because I mean, if it helps at all to know before I go into it, here I am, despite the fact that I think I have, it's pretty debilitating. It's really honestly ridiculous how bad my social anxiety is. I do feel like I have a pretty good handle on it sometimes, most of the time. I feel like it's come with time and with learning. And so yes, I am a complete mess. However, I do feel like I could probably give you some advice because I've ended up here somehow. It's kind of hard to believe because it runs pretty deep. It does. Before I get into it, just a quick trigger warning just for anybody who has anxiety. I'm gonna, share my experience with it, but I hope I can do so in just kind of a real, raw way that isn't triggering, and that again will also prompt some talk about coping mechanisms and hope and things that I hope can help you. So yeah. Like so many people will be like, there is no way that you have social anxiety, Amanda, because you're so outgoing. You're not shy. Like, you obviously don't have social anxiety, but you'd be surprised. And it took me a long time to actually come to that conclusion myself. Like I have actually been diagnosed with social anxiety, but it took me a long time to talk to a doctor about it and be like, hey, I think I have this, because I think, like I was saying, a lot of people assume that social anxiety looks one way, and it's usually that you're really, really shy, that you're totally introverted, that maybe like you have a hard time talking to people, you stutter when you talk to people. That's things that a lot of people do associate with social anxiety. It took me a long time to realize that that is something that I actually do have and struggle with, because there is a whole, I guess, archetype, I don't know even what to call it, of people who have social anxiety that feign extroversion, if that makes sense. So basically what they'll do and what I do is I am so scared of talking to people that I talk to people. And I kind of fill all the silences. And anybody who's in our Patreon and has ever been in voice chat with me knows that I cannot stand when there's a silence, and I will fill it immediately, usually with a very embarrassing story from my life. I'll be like, hey, you guys want to hear about the time I peed my pants? Anybody? Yeah, in school? Right in school in front of everybody? Okay, I'll tell that, just because I can't handle silences. I can't handle even the suspicion that something might become awkward. It is one of the most painful things in my life to deal with is an awkward situation, someone else feeling uncomfortable, not knowing what to say. Like, oh my God. One of the most painful things ever that could happen to me is when you say goodbye to someone, but then you both walk out like together. It's so bad, right? That's the kind of shit that it sends me into a spiral, and it is very, very anxiety inducing. I get so scared about meeting new people. There was one time, it's so funny to think about this now. My best friends in the world, they were friends with Matt's best friend, and then Matt's best friend introduced us to them, and then we kind of became a group of friends. They were going to come to our apartment because our mutual friend had moved to a different state with his boyfriend, and they were coming to visit. So we were going to have them come to our apartment, and then we were also inviting his two other friends, if that makes sense. So the first time they ever came over, I hid in my closet for an hour and just freaked the fuck out. I can't believe it. I don't know. I shut down, and it's not always like that, but that's just an example of like two new people I didn't know were coming over, and I was scared, and I just didn't feel good enough. And so I was getting ready, and then I just like fucking broke down in the closet. So I kept having to tell Matt, like, hey, tell him that I'm like getting ready, and then I'm really busy, and then I'm like on a work call or something, like, please. And he's like, okay. And I was in the closet hiding for an hour. So that's another example. And it's just so it's just so funny now to think that they're like literally my best friends in the world, and we hang out with them all the time. And I'm like, wow, I was really scared of y'all. Y'all really scared me. Jeez. Like I can be freaking out in the car when we're on our way to a social gathering, but as soon as we get there, I'm able to literally come out of the car, even though I was just hyperventilating, be like, hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? Because one of the things that I'm most scared of is making other people uncomfortable or letting people catch on that I'm freaking out, because I don't want it to be awkward or uncomfortable. And I want to come off a certain way to people, even if I'm in agony on the inside, Phone calls are the bane of my existence. I am terrified. Terrified of phone calls. If I call someplace because I need like assistance or like a quote on something, and then they call me back, return my call that I asked for, sometimes I'll just watch it ring and won't pick it up because I'm like, I don't know that person. I don't want to talk on the phone. If anybody calls me, it's the end of the world. I just can't believe I function like this. I'll be like completely freaking out on the inside, but then on the outside, I'm like, hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm going to tell you my life story and talk to you all night long, because I can't stop talking. That's kind of like why a lot of people are like, you don't have social anxiety. I talk to you all the time and you don't shut up. Yeah, that's because I can't shut up, because if I do, I'll realize that I'm having a panic attack and disguising it as verbiage. Okay. It's so bad. But I feel like in some ways it's gotten worse, and then in other ways it gets better. And I think one of the things that helps is just kind of making myself do it. It's like I don't think I'll ever necessarily be able to get over the way that I feel before these situations, but I will be able to help make situations that would normally scare me more comfortable, if that makes sense. By like, one of the things that I've recently learned to start doing is to kind of at least somewhat try to sit in those silences and let them happen and let someone else fill it. And then if it's been like 5 seconds and no one's talking, then I'll fill it. But I used to get so scared. It was like 1 second of silence and I'd be like, so, and I don't know what to say either. It's just, so I'm just like, let's just tell a story that can be engaging and at my expense. I don't even know. It's so weird. But yeah, I've been kind of challenging myself to sit in those silences. I'm really bad. I can't say no to people. So like, if there's ever a time where I'm not feeling something, where I'm not feeling good, I don't want to go out, I can't necessarily say no. So I've had 2 of my good best friends of my life who I really am not close with anymore. When I was close with them at the time, they both were the type of people who were like party girls, so they loved to go to parties. They always wanted to go out. And even though I never wanted to do that stuff and it made me even more anxious, I could never say no. And so I would end up like really resenting these people. And I kind of turned myself into like the friend that they wanted, like that cool like friend who was always down for anything crazy, even if it wasn't something that I wanted to do, which isn't fair to either of us. It wasn't fair to them because they had no way of knowing that the entire time that I'd be with them, I'd be thinking about how miserable I was and how I hated it. And that's not something that anyone ever wants their friends to keep from them, but I just would do it anyway because I didn't want to disappoint anybody. And it never ends well. It ends up being that you resent that person but you have to try to figure out how you can even unravel what you've built. Oh my God, look at them under the trees, and Diana's got like a Sprite. She's got like a Sierra Mist. Oh, they're so cute. Lily goes, "What's that lovely fragrance you're wearing, Diana?" Lily! Oh my God, Lily is shooting her shot in my driveway. You always smell so nice, Cricket. She must be smelling so good because like everybody is commenting on her smell. Like Sherp's out here smelling her. My, aren't you sweet? That's just my signature scent you're smelling. Well, what does that mean? Like you're making your own perfume, Diana? That's Diana by Diana? I'd be happy to let you try it out if you'd let me share that catchphrase of yours. I just think it's darling. You do? Really? Of course you can use it, Cricket. Cricket, such a fun way to zest up one's speech. No wonder you say it, Cricket. You're so sweet, Diana. Oh my God. Lily goes, "You always make me feel so heard." Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Cricket. Aw, Lily. Now that Lily is done oversharing, I better get back to oversharing myself. Where were we? Oh yeah, my friends. Yeah, so like, of course I loved them and we had so many good times together, but there was so much more of that where it was just me molding myself to who they wanted me to be. And I wasn't getting anything out of it for myself, but I wasn't like even giving them the chance to know what I needed out of a friend, if that makes sense. Really get into this. So yeah, it's put me in some seriously bad situations, and apparently it all stems from my social anxiety, just like not wanting to disappoint people, not wanting to make a situation awkward by saying no. Unfortunately, it took me getting through to the end, to the inevitable bitter end of relationships and situations that are led by that, because like, just because you don't tell someone how you feel right off the bat, you're going to end up having to tell them later, and then they're only going to be hurt that you didn't tell them before, and blah, blah, blah. And that is an awful situation. And I had to address that was like a toxic trait of mine, even though it also stemmed from my mental illness, because that's the thing, is that you can't, as hard as it is, it's your responsibility to make sure that if you have a mental illness that is hurting people or that is making you into a toxic person, you have to confront that. You got to work on that. And so I can say that I don't do that stuff anymore. It's hard for me to say no. It's really hard for me, but I understand the importance of doing that. And like when I do need to tell somebody how I feel, when I do need to confront someone, I'm able to do that. So that's like the deep, deep, deep stuff of like, I have to work on this. This has like been a huge like lifelong struggle. It's put me into horrible situations, and I'm probably oversharing, which is something I do so brilliantly, if you haven't already noticed. One of my ever-present struggles that I deal with pretty much on a daily basis that's kind of unavoidable is just being out at the store and there's like little behaviors that I have when I'm out in public that make it so hard for me to be out in public that are needless. Like, for example, one of the things that I deal with all the time, and this is why I will specifically go out of my way to go to a version of a store I need to go to that has a self-checkout. Self-checkout is the best thing that was ever invented. I love it. I quite literally have a hard time functioning without it. Uh-oh, what's this, trouble in paradise? This is twisted. Y'all are wearing like a matching outfit. I hate this, but go on. Sometimes I feel bad pulling weeds. Would it be so wrong to let a few of them grow and bloom, cutie? Marina, stop. No way. It comes down to them or us, Marina. Okay, so there's an us between Goose and Marina. This is making me sick. Them or us? Back off. Don't get in her face. Oh my God, Marina, are you okay? I guess it is kind of hard to find something we can both agree on, Goose, comma, cutie. Marina, you're making a big mistake. I guess we can both agree that cutie is kind of fun to say at least, right? Goose, stop talking. There's our common ground. Feel free to keep using it if you really feel like it motivates you, cutie. You know what? I really don't have time for this right now. I'm trying to make our town a better place. What, so that you guys can have like some kind of a thing? Kyle, please cheer me up. Something wicked is happening. Guess what, Glitter? I got something for you. Oh, Kyle, you always know what to do. That's so sweet. You ready for this? It's my old
microwave.
Is that even legal? He gave me his old crusty microwave. Everybody hates me. Nobody talk to me while I win a Nobel Peace Prize and making this town into a better place, please. Everybody please give me my space, okay? Anyway, where was I before all that happened? I think I was gonna tell you about my weird grocery store thing. It's actually so stupid. One of my worst fears is being at the grocery store and you got all this stuff and you go to check out and listen, I've been a cashier. I did the same thing. And when you do this, you're not doing anything wrong. Keep doing what you're doing. But for me personally, because I'm broken, I don't know, whenever the cashier makes comments about the stuff I'm buying, something about that, I can't tell you what, I hate it. Even though when it does actually happen, it's not even as bad. It's never as bad. It actually kind of cracks me open and I feel a little bit better, but I'm always holding my breath and just hoping that they're not going to say anything. And I'm talking mundane, super nice, casual, one of the examples I can think of that happened recently. Totally okay, by the way. This is not a bad thing that this person did, I promise. I was buying overnight oats. And they were like the little pre-made overnight oats, right? And one of the cashiers, super, super nice lady. I hope she's doing great. I wish her nothing but the best. She was just like, oh, these look good. I've never tried these. That's it. That's all. That's what I'm scared of. That is something that terrifies me. Like, I'm just like, please, please, please don't say anything. Please don't say anything. Please. Why? So they'll just pick it up and be like, oh, this looks good. I haven't tried these. Are these good? And then I have to be like, yeah, or I have to be like, I haven't tried them either. It's like the first time, because I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm scared subconsciously that I'm like, oh my God, like people are judging me based on what I'm buying. I don't know what it is that scares me so bad. Basically, I'm terrified that they're perceiving my groceries is what I'm saying. I'm terrified of having my groceries perceived. You guys, it's so funny. You can't help but laugh. I certainly can't. Again, if you do that, I swear to God, you're not doing anything wrong. That's so nice. It's so sweet. And most of the time when they do ask, after the initial terror of seeing them scan all my items and hoping that they don't say shit about anything that I'm buying. And again, it's groceries. It's not like I'm buying like 18 plus paraphernalia. You know what I mean? Like it's literally like overnight oats and friggin' almond milk. And I'm like, please don't say, please don't notice the almond milk. Please don't say anything about please don't say anything about the Gushers. Please. I'm terrified. This has never happened. But whenever I buy Gushers, I'm always so terrified that they're going to say something. They're going to be like, oh, wow, yum. I don't even know. Like, oh, I love these. Because then I have to answer for my crimes and just be like, yeah, I'm going to eat the whole box. I don't even know what I would say. Sometimes I tell myself, if they ask about the Gushers, say it's for your little brother. I always think that people are going to think that I'm stealing stuff. So if because I wear a fanny pack, that's like my main carrying device. Instead of like a purse or a backpack, I usually just have my little fanny pack with the Cryptids of West Virginia on it. And so every single time I'm in the store and I go into my fanny pack to like put my phone away or something, I always think that I look suspicious and they're gonna think I'm stealing. So I always have to make a huge scene of it and stand like right in the middle of like the open area and make sure that they see me and that they know I'm not trying to hide anything while I dig through my fanny pack and stuff. It's ridiculous. I don't know why. I've never been apprehended. No one's ever said anything. I just always think that I look fucking suspicious. I don't know why. Whenever I'm driving and I hear sirens, I am terrified because I just know that they're coming for me. I just know it. I just know it. They're finally coming to get me. Didn't do a goddamn thing. Not a single thing was done by me that would warrant the police. At any point, I'm just driving the speed limit, like, and I'm like, oh my God, here they come. Finally, I guess it couldn't run forever. Again, I've worked in retail. I know they have to say this. And so they'll say like, okay, well, just so you know, like, these are buy one, get one free. These are half off, that we're having a sale on this, and this. They say their whole spiel. I never know where to put my eyes. I never know what face to make at them. I never know what to do while they're talking. And it just fucks me up. I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know what they want from me. Even though, again, I've worked in that position. I know that you just have to say it and that most people are gonna be like, okay, thanks. But a part of me is like, do they want me to say, oh, that's amazing, I'm super interested in that? Like, are they going to think that I'm rejecting them if I don't react excited enough? Like, what do I say? What do I do? What do they want from me? It's so bad. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. This is a himbo moment. Nat Geo Himbo Encounter of the Year Award. Oh my God. A himbo in its natural habitat. He's acting as if he's never seen a butterfly before in his life. The glasses don't fit. This is truly remarkable. I have never seen such an amazing, incredible example of a himbo in all my life. And that's why we need to protect this species, because himbos are endangered, okay? They like fall off cliffs and drink glue and like can't swim and stuff. And their population is in severe decline. So please watch out for the himbos in your life and just check in on them from time to time. Thank you. Okay, back on track. I should probably wrap this question up and actually give you some advice. That'd be cool, right? That's kind of what you asked for. Obviously, before I go through some of these things, I just want to make it clear that I'm not a health professional at all. I have no jurisdiction to be giving actual medical advice. I know that, at least in my country, healthcare, especially mental health care, is not easy to access for many people. It's actually completely inaccessible to many people. And so these are just some things that I do that help me. But this in no way, of course, is in place of like actual medical advice. And if you do have access, I highly recommend, going in and getting a diagnosis if you don't already have it, maybe trying some anxiety meds, or at least just talking to a professional. Again, this is not professional advice, and I'm not saying you have to do any of these things. I'm just sharing my experience. So yeah, even though it's a thing that I still to this day, I don't think it's ever gonna go away. There's obviously no cure. And I personally don't take any anxiety meds unless I'm like in the middle of a panic attack. That's the only meds I have for anxiety. So it's not like I can take something every day. Just because they've never really worked with me and my other medications that I take. There's a few things that I've kind of started doing that can help. One of the things that's it's a big one is preparing before I go places. I always have a better time if I have like a list of things that I need to get. Another thing that I like to do is kind of just focus on my senses. So like I will I don't know if this is good or bad, but I always pinch the inside of my palm when I'm really, really nervous. Like I kind of just curl my fingers in and I not hard, obviously, but I kind of just like scratch and pinch the insides of my palm to just kind of like focus a little bit on that sensation. That way I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm not completely sunken into my anxiety and I'm kind of just doing other stuff that makes me feel better. I also kind of like look around me and try to take in what I'm seeing, what I'm smelling, what I'm hearing. And that kind of helps me ground myself a little bit and just kind of remind myself that I'm like here right now and that this isn't like my anxiety isn't the only thing that exists and that no one's actually looking at me. No one's actually like judging me and paying attention to me. One more thing I want to briefly touch on just because I've been dealing with it lately and I feel like it's kind of important to talk about because not a lot of people are talking about it, is dealing with a certain level of anxiety about things going back to normal after the whole thing that we just dealt with, where we've been inside for over a year. I feel like a lot of people feel guilty in not necessarily not wanting it to go back to normal, but being terrified of going back to normal and being hesitant and having anxiety about that, because obviously it's been a bad situation. No one is saying that they want the virus to keep on being out there, keeping everyone in their homes. That's not what anybody's saying. But there is a level of anxiety that I personally am dealing with big time right now in terms of thinking about everything going back to normal, because this whole situation has made it easier for me to cope because there's less people out in the world. I've had to go out less. I've had less people at work to deal with and to interact with. I've had less pressure to hang out with friends all the time and so on. And so for a lot of people also, like, they're having to deal with not having worked at all over the last year, or not having worked at an office at all. And I think it's important to talk about how, it's okay if you're not like, there's a lot of extroverted people out there who are like, I need it to go back to normal. I can't wait. I'm going crazy. But it's okay to feel opposite of that. And I don't think that we should feel guilty, because the last year has been really weird circumstances, and it's taken us out of the practice of facing our fears every day. And so we've been void of all of the exposure that you don't even notice helps you to learn to cope with your social anxiety. Like, you would think that you'd feel better after like a year-long break from people, but I think a lot of people are starting to realize they feel worse. They have this huge fear of like going back to work, getting another job, or like going back to school in person. Like, people are freaking out and they're like, oh my God, I used to be able to work. I used to be able to go to school. Like, my social anxiety must have gotten worse. But what it really is that something like social anxiety, unfortunately, you do have to work at it every single day. You have to kind of upkeep that desensitization of things that cause you anxiety. Like, yeah, it's always going to cause me anxiety to go to the mall and to have somebody ask if they can help me and like perceive my groceries. But I feel like it's a little easier when I face those types of things every single day, and when you've been taken away from it for so long, you haven't been exposed to it in forever. So the fear, it's kind of refilled itself, And so it really sucks. It really, really, really fucking sucks. It really does. I feel like I'm not ready at all. I'm terrified. I'm terrified to go back to normal. And I know a lot of people are dealing with that too. But what I can offer to anyone else who's in the same boat as me, the sooner we get back into it, it's going to be hard at first. And I mean, I know how hard it is to get like actual medication and mental health care, at least if you live in America. It's unfortunate, and I can't like offer that as like a solution to everybody because I know how hard it is. So what I can offer you is just keep in mind that it's going to get easier, okay? Like, it's going to be really, really scary for all of us at first, but the more we do it, we will come back to that equilibrium of like, yeah, I'm pretty uncomfortable most of the time, but at least it's not terrifying, and you'll get used to things and you'll get more comfortable. And like, if you start a new job, like, yeah, it's going to be terrifying at first, but then you'll get used to it and you'll learn what you're doing and you'll meet people, and you'll always have those people that make you feel a little more comfortable and so on. But the first step in making it more comfortable to like be a part of society is just to go out there and to do it. And, if you have somebody in your life that you can take with you, like, I know that I feel much more comfortable when I have Matt with me. In fact, today there's this like tropical fish store in one of the towns over, and I was over there, and I don't usually go to that town, but I was like, oh my God, next time I'm in that area, I want to go there. And so I went to go do something. And then on my way back home, I was like, I'm going to go to the fish store. Like, it's going to make me so happy to like look at tropical fish. And I love them. And like, maybe I can start thinking about getting a tank soon. And I was so excited. But then my brain started being like, it's a specialty store. It's a fish store. How many people are really going to be there on a Sunday? Really? You're probably going to be the only one. And when you walk in, I bet the person working there is going to say hi to you. I bet they're going to acknowledge you. I bet they're going to perceive you. And then I bet they're going to come up to you And since it's such a specialty store, they're probably gonna try to talk to you. And they're gonna ask you if you have any experience with fish. And because you can't shut the fuck up, you're gonna start talking about your entire life and how you work with wildlife and how you worked at the aquarium. And this person's gonna be intrigued because you started a conversation and you have interesting things to say. And then that person's gonna keep talking to you. And then you're gonna be stuck there for an hour talking to someone who has a similar interest as you and is probably a really nice person. And you're probably gonna enjoy elements of this conversation, but they're gonna be perceiving you the entire time. And you just wanna look at the fish. And you don't got all day. And you just wanted to look at the fish. And now people are perceiving you, talking to you, and it's gonna be awkward when the conversation finally ends because you don't know how to end conversations. So you're just gonna keep talking. This person's gonna need to get to work. When is this conversation even really gonna end? Are you gonna be there all night until they close? Are they gonna have to kick you out because you don't know when to end a fucking conversation? That, I swear to God, that just happened today. So I told myself, okay, I'll go to the fish store on a day where I can drag my husband Matt with me so that I can use him as an emotional crutch. That way, if somebody wants to talk to me, at least Matt will be there because it does make me feel more comfortable when Matt is with me for whatever reason. I could just tether my normalcy to him, and like he knows how to end a conversation, so that's good. And he also like knows how to fill silences. And then there's like, I don't know, he's just like a little crutch for me. So if you have a friend or like a family member or whoever to bring with you into public and just be like, hey, can you come to the store with me and just like help, like stand beside me while I'm perceived by the general population of fellow humans, please. You know, just start taking little trips out into the world and practice being a member of society. I know it's hard. I hate it. I hate it. It's so hard. And like, you hate going out and doing it, but I don't really love staying at home all the time and not doing anything with my life. I think that this would get boring after a while, but I just fucking hate it. You know, I just want to be able to walk into a fucking fish store and take a look at some fish and just say, hey, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. No, I'm good. Or just like talk to somebody really, you know, it's like I have to make everything into a big thing. And it's like really not that deep. But I'm over here in my brain thinking I'm gonna live at the fish store. I can't leave. I'm gonna live there for the rest of my life because I don't know how to end a conversation. I don't know. I'm gonna stop myself. But yeah, hopefully that gives you hope and makes you feel less alone. I don't know. We got this. We're gonna be okay. We got this. We'll learn how to do what we were doing before. We will, and it won't take long. Oh, Anka. By the way, I'm like time traveling days. Of course, y'all know how it goes because I gotta order stuff from Nook Shopping and wait for trees to grow and shit. Anka, getting back to the topic at hand. Look at her. Oh my God, this is so sweet. God, I love her. She does it again. Girl, you have done it again. Constantly raising the bar for all of us and doing it flawlessly. I'd say I'm surprised, but I know who you are. Anyway, I could do the whole thing. Anka said in her handwritten letter, to my busy bee popcorn, taking time to wash away the day's stress is so rejuvenating, don't you think? And you, my dear, are always working so hard, so I thought this might help you unwind. I do hope you find it refreshing. Enjoy, Anka. And it's a fucking bathrobe. It's a beautiful bathrobe. She means the world to me. I just can't get enough of this girl. Look at these two. This shit never gets old. Like, they really are the Notebook. Look at them. They're strolling in the rain with their umbrellas that match their aesthetic. They could weather any storm. And I just love them so much. Okay, anyway. Oh my God, Kales, I love this one. What is your proudest moment? Could be anything or things. What are you proud to share? Oh, that's such a good question. I would say right off the bat, my proudest moment of my life, pretty much hands down, it's when I found an anaconda in the Amazon, definitely. And I have a whole story time of my whole entire Amazon situation, which like the entire trip honestly was a dream, but that moment in particular, I'll go into it a little bit here, but the video, my story time that I will put in the cards will definitely, I like literally cry in that video talking about this moment because it's like unreal. It's just unreal. Basically, too long didn't read. The only reason I went to the Amazon, I was invited to the Amazon by a literal hero of mine, an author and conservationist and naturalist, Paul Rosalie, invited me to the Amazon because we connected over Instagram. And so that in and of itself, I guess you could consider a proud moment because like basically his book about the Amazon really, not that I hadn't always loved the Amazon, but it really, really, really fueled like an even deeper love for it and an obsession. I kind of hyper fixated on the Amazon even more after that book, and like became completely obsessed with the idea of going. And it was like a huge dream of mine to someday go like and meet him. And then he fucking, a few years later, unprovoked, I didn't even like mention it to him, he invited me there to like help him and his group on an anaconda expedition to help save anacondas and learn more about them, which again, in and of itself, was a proud moment and a dream come true. And then when I got there, it's very easy for someone like me who kind of has gone throughout their whole life with like a very fake it till you make it attitude to feel not only imposter syndrome, which is like my brand, but also just feeling, I guess it's kind of the same thing, but not quite, like feeling like a little fish in a big pond, you know, feeling kind of out of place, like, wow, what am I even doing here? Not even really like I'm a sham, I'm an imposter, but more just like, I don't belong here. Why am I here? Especially because on this trip, I was with so many people who had been to the Amazon before, or who were just big deals in general. You know, we had like a Nat Geo filmmaker and photographer with us. Like, you know, it was hard to feel like I really belonged there. But I knew what I was doing, and I knew animals, and I knew how to find snakes. And so, you know, I felt like I could help there with finding the anacondas, because I knew how to find, you know, snakes and handle them and what to look for and things like that. Of course, I had never found an anaconda or seen an anaconda in the wild, because they live in South America, but also they are one of the hardest species to find and work with. And that's why there's really no data out there on them. Even though their populations are in decline, it is really, really hard for scientists to study these snakes. Even with Paul and all his friends who grew up in the Amazon and all of these experts, we could not find any anacondas. It was like 2 weeks of searching all day, every day. Definitely not a vacation. Definitely an amazing like experience to, in terms of like immersing myself in the Amazon, but it was hard work, very hard work. Like I got to know the jungle very well, very quickly, and got to see a lot of animals as a result, because we were in the jungle constantly in the swamps up to our waist in water, you know, like avoiding freaking electric eels and piranhas and shit. It was amazing. And, but it was hard work, and we were really getting discouraged because we couldn't find an anaconda. And so it was kind of like the stakes were really high, and we were really desperate. We were like, oh, I hope somebody finds an anaconda. Gosh, they're just so difficult to find. And on the second to last day in the field, I had learned and I had grown and I had become more comfortable in the jungle, and so had the rest of like our group. So we kind of veered off and split up from each other a little bit, just to kind of put more eyes out there, because we had been searching in groups. So now I was alone. I definitely manifested this snake. And I manifested a lot of shit on this trip, and I won't go into detail, but it was actually so weird and so cool. Anyway, I started thinking about the snake, and I started just visualizing me looking down and kind of just like seeing the spots of the anaconda jutting out of the water. And I was just like, I can see it so clearly. Like I want to be able to look down and find it, because I feel it right within reach. And so I was off on my own, and it was only like 10 minutes into us all branching off and going off on our own that I looked down. And right there, like right by my leg, there was just this coil, this olive green coil jutting out of the water, big black spots. And I, of course, knew right away that I had found an anaconda. I had found the anaconda. It had been me. I was the one. And again, we were desperate to find one. We were looking everywhere. We were spending hours and hours every day out there. So it's a big deal. And I was able to, because didn't know how big it was, and it was, you know, our protocol that we had talked about, to make sure to try to, if you don't have to jump on it right away, to try to alert somebody who can come and help you. That way that we up our chances of like, nobody getting hurt and it not getting away. So Paul, who again is like my hero, he was the closest one to me. And so I was like, you know, anaconda. And he was the one who came over, and he looked down at the anaconda, and I think that she still didn't really know we were there. So you could just see her coil. And before we did anything, before he reached down to get her, he like grabbed my hand and he like shook it. We did this like shaking, like high five, handshake, hand holding thing. And he was like, yes, you know, you did it. That kind of thing. Like literally being on like the adventure of a lifetime with this hero of yours who goes on these adventures and who inspires you so much. To have that happen, to have you prove yourself and do something amazing in front of them so that they can kind of validate you about it is it's something that I can't even put into words. And it was the most meaningful moment of my life. Definitely a moment where I felt nothing but proud of myself because I knew how hard I'd worked. I knew like all the things that I had done in my life. Every single thing, from catching little garter snakes outside when I was 7 to reading all the books at the library about snakes and the Amazon and everything in between, all the hard work I put into becoming a wildlife conservationist. But that's why I only have one tattoo. My first tattoo ever is actually of an anaconda, the anaconda, same spot pattern and everything. It's my girl that I found in the Amazon, and she is on my arm. And that's my first tattoo. I definitely plan on getting more, but I just like always put off getting my first tattoo. But when I got back from the Amazon, I was like, I know exactly, because I'm a Libra, so I'm indecisive. So I had like a million things I wanted to get. And when it's your first tattoo, you feel like you have to pick like that perfect thing, the thing you want more than anything. And there was never that perfect thing. And then I got back from the Amazon. I was like, I know what I'm getting tattooed. So I have that anaconda on me forever. And I am, it's something that I'm glad I get to take her with me when I go. Tattoos are really cool for that reason. It's like the only thing you purchase in your lifetime that you really take with you to the grave. And I'm glad that I'll always have her with me, because whether she was a tattoo or not, she'll always be with me. And a piece of my heart is with her in those swamps. And I am so fucking cheesy, and I deserve to honestly be arrested and prosecuted for being this cheesy. But yeah, thanks for asking. This is a great question. Illuminova asked, is it weird or off-putting to care for non-vegan animals as a vegan? I'm debating so hard on a companion when I move out of my family home. That is a great question, and it's something that definitely, divides vegans. It's hard to imagine that, a vegan can be so, I guess, quote unquote, extreme about their own diet and their own lifestyle, but then, thaw out a frozen dead rat for a snake, or even just feed their dogs and cats meat and purchase it and stuff. I guess the short answer is that it is not weird. It's gross. I am majorly disgusted in meat, like probably more than most people, because I've just been off it for so long that I've developed a powerful aversion to it, for sure. And it's gross, but it is not difficult ethically for me. And I attribute that a lot to my own background, studying biology and knowing how animals work. I am actually completely enraged by people who put their dogs and cats on vegan diets. Everybody's got their own opinions on it, but at the end of the day, if you know anything about these animals and their biology, then you would know that it's not healthy, it's not okay. And so my thought is that, you are actively harming other animals for the sake of your mission, which is to not harm animals. Sadly, it's really a sad fact right now. The animals that I feed to my animals are gonna die anyway. So if somebody is feeding their pets a vegan diet, especially a cat, which is a true carnivore, whereas dogs, they can get a lot out of things that aren't meat, but dogs also do need meat in their diet. But cats especially can be really dangerous for them to put them on vegan diets. They're true carnivores. All it's doing is adding to the amount of suffering that animals are going through when people have a dog or a cat and they put them on a vegan diet. So it's always my advice is like, if you are against feeding pets the food that they're supposed to eat, which is also non-vegan, then I think that the best thing that they could do is not have those pets. Get a rabbit, get a tortoise that has a completely herbivorous diet, get an iguana. Those are all animals that thrive on herbivorous diets. It of course sucks that dog food and cat food are coming from factory farms, just like meat at the grocery store and things like that. And I wish that we had the ability to like more ethically source all of our animals' food, so that at least we weren't contributing at all to the meat industry and to factory farms. But like I always tell you guys, you do as much as you can when you can. We all did as much as we could, then the world would be a better place. A lot of our animals, they're rescues and things like that, and we're keeping them safe here and we're caring for them, and they require meat as a part of their diets. My snakes and lizards and things like that, they require meat to keep them healthy and happy. And somebody's got to take care of them, because you can't just release them into the wild, So somebody's got to take care of them. Somebody's going to be feeding them those things. And since it doesn't bother me too much, because I just kind of try to look at it as this is keeping my pets healthy, and I try not to let it get to me, and I try to see it as like, as much as it's not natural and it's not the circle of life, because they're not out there hunting these things, it is something that is going to happen regardless, basically, whether they are in the wild or if someone else is caring for them, they're still going to get these things and eat these things, and making them go vegan is going to be harming them. So KJ asked, do you know much about oceans, oceanography, and marine biology? Yes, actually, I began my path. Of course, now I am working in herpetology, but I actually, for a long time, thought for sure that I was going to be a marine biologist. And I love the ocean, and I love fish, and I love marine mammals, and I love marine biology. And yeah, I will say that I'm probably not as well versed. I mean, I guess I get it in terms of oceanography, actual because oceanography is going to be the study of the actual ocean, and the ocean is she's a complex bitch. Let me tell you, such a cool, quirky but complex bitch. My God, it's crazy. The ocean really do be out here fucking controlling everything. They call it the heart of the planet because it circulates everything else, all the wind and the weather and freaking temperature and shit, just circulates it all around, and it's just really important. So the ocean's amazing, but it's obviously really hard to learn everything about it because it's so complex. You just never stop learning when you're interested in the ocean and in marine biology. You never ever stop learning. It's so fascinating, and it's just such a big, huge, massively important part of our world that a lot of people it's even if you don't see the ocean, even if there's so many people in the world who never see the ocean, who never will get to see the ocean because they live really far away from it. But even if you never see it, it still affects your life. It still affects your life every day. The phytoplankton in the ocean provides us with over 50% of the oxygen that we breathe. So that's every other breath you take comes from the ocean. Pretty important. And also, speaking of marine biology and animals, one of my favorite fun oceanography marine biology facts is that even though coral reef ecosystems only comprise about 1%, if not less, of the ocean, they are home to or important to up to 25% of everything that lives in the ocean. They're pretty diverse and dynamic, amazing places, and just the whole ass ocean is incredible. It's just an amazing place that you can never ever learn enough about. You can never stop learning about it. And I especially really love elasmobranchs, which are sharks and rays and skates. And so for a long time, I thought for sure that I was going to pursue working specifically with them. And I think that out of everything, one of the things that fascinates me the most, one of the things that I feel like I know the most about are sharks. It's been a lifelong hyperfixation for me. Oh boy, Macy, I'm so glad that you asked this. As a conservationist, do you have any opinions on PETA? Oh boy, yes I do. Too long didn't read. Fuck PETA. Do not support them. I know that you feel like you're doing the right thing, but it's cognitive dissonance because PETA is the worst. They have, for whatever reason, overtaken the animal rights narrative. And as someone who hopefully by now you've grown to trust and I love animals. I put animals first in everything I do. I've dedicated my life to protecting and helping animals, and I'm also, not that this makes me any better or worse, but I am a vegan. So if anything, you would think that I would love PETA and all that they do and stand for. But there are few organizations that are worse. There are actually few that are worse, for sure, but that's one of the worst ones. As far as animal rights go, they are just very extremist, and very all or nothing, very black and white. When I say this all the time, nothing is black and white. Things are every issue in the world is very nuanced. And I think as far as the topic of animal rights and animal activism, it is even more so, because at the end of the day, we can't talk to animals. We can't ask them what they want and how they feel. Of course, we know that animals don't want to die. They don't want to be slaughtered. They don't want to be abused, but we don't know, other things that PETA kind of insists, that all dogs and cats, basically, if you don't know this, PETA doesn't believe in pets. They don't want dogs and cats to be kept as pets. And that's why they euthanize every animal that they rescue. I could go on and on. There's a whole kind of iceberg with PETA, and I don't want to make this into a huge PETA conspiracy video. So I definitely implore you, if you just haven't heard of this, if you always thought I thought PETA was a good organization, I definitely encourage you to look it up. And a lot of this stuff, surprisingly too, which is what I like about it, because I love evidence. A lot of this stuff is right on PETA's website. It's kind kind of hard to see. It's kind of, you miss it the first time, but then you're like, holy shit, that's kind of fucked up. For example, as a conservationist, one thing that really hurts me about PETA is that they firmly believe that animals are better off extinct than in any captive situation whatsoever. Even if there's one of the many great captive situations that are available for animals that allow conservationists like myself to establish assurance colonies and keep species alive as opposed to fucking extinct, which is the most permanent, most devastating thing that could happen to a group of animals. It's just, they're gone forever. It's a horrible thing, especially because it's our fault. The mass extinction event that we're currently experiencing, where species on the planet today are going extinct at a rate of 1,000 times faster than the natural rate. That's our fault. And it's up to us to help these animals and to not let them go extinct just because we encroached on their habitat. Of course, every conservationist wants to see animals in the wild where they belong, thriving, but that's not possible. For many types of animals, their wild homes are gone and there's nowhere for them to live. And so that's why it is, again, not black and white. Of course, there are bad zoos and aquariums out there that operate for the entertainment of others and the profit that the animals bring them. But as somebody who's worked for an aquarium and works closely with zoos to this day, that are accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, as someone who would literally jump in front of a bullet to save a fucking snail, I can tell you that there are so many good zoos and aquariums out there, and that zoos and aquariums that are accredited by this association, at least in the United States, as far as other countries go, I'm not sure. But as far as the ones that I work with that are accredited, these places are amazing. They're immaculate. They have, they have qualifications. I've been present for an AZA inspection so that a zoo or an aquarium can keep its accreditation. The level of detail and the level in which the inspectors are so meticulous about every little thing. If this little periwinkle snail doesn't, like, every single animal needs to be accounted for, needs to be checked on every day, needs to have a certain amount of space. Every animal that is living at an accredited zoological institution, at least in the United States, probably has better healthcare than everyone in this country. And of course, there's also animals that can't go back into the wild for whatever reason, individual animals that are non-releasable that would die if they were released back into the wild. And so they need to have a place to live too. And in my opinion, what if they don't mind, if they're not stressed out, if people and crowds don't stress them out, if they're getting plenty of enrichment, if they have enough space, then I think it's a great thing to allow the public to come in and see these animals and be touched by them and inspired by them, and for it to ignite a fire in them and for it to inspire them to want to help them. It does a lot more than people just seeing it on TV or in a book, and it's too bad that people need to see it for themselves, but at the same time, it's kind of a win-win for these animals because, again, they get a safe place to live that, I wouldn't support. I don't get any money. I don't benefit at all. I get nothing from supporting good zoos and aquariums. I get nothing out of that. I'm not making any money off it. Anybody who's ever worked at a zoo or aquarium can tell you that it's not a job you go into for the money. I can assure you that people working at zoos and aquariums are not like, oh, we're making all this money. They're there because they love the animals, and they're probably working like 2 or 3 other jobs too, because you don't make a lot as a zookeeper, I can assure you. But anyway, yeah, it's too bad that PETA is very black and white about it. They think no animals in captivity. They would rather see animals go extinct. PETA is notorious for literally stealing people's pets and putting them down because they're better off dead than with humans. If they were attacking Animal Crossing, you know what I mean? They were like, Animal Crossing is bad, it's harming animals. It's like, what? Have you ever even played Animal Crossing? When you catch the fish, you don't even eat them. I don't know. It's just gross. They're notorious for harassing conservationists and researchers and just about anybody else. The list of completely problematic comments that they have made that just completely not only miss the mark, but they're just blunders. They're just awful things that they've said that they compare certain things to that just should never be compared. Yes, the meat industry and animal suffering is bad, but don't compare it to genocide, okay? Just don't. Just fucking don't do that. It's just not productive. They objectify women constantly just to get attention. All the animals that they bring into their shelters and their rescue programs, I think at least 80% of them they put down because they think that animals are better off dead than with humans because they don't believe in pets. They're shit. They're just absolute shit. They're just extremists. They've long lost sight of what they're trying to actually do. They have a lot of anger and they're not productive with it. at all. I have really seen very little evidence that PETA has actually done like anything, honestly. And it sucks because, they have a lot of money, so I don't really know what they're doing with it, but whatever. Emmy, I am so, so glad that you found your way into our Discord so that you could ask this question right now. Your question is, what is your opinion on the Fresno night crawlers? I'm so glad that I have you to remind me of these individuals. There's no words for them. They are so special. And, where do I even start? Yeah, I haven't thought of them in a while. So I'm glad that I get to talk about them now with you here. Many of you know that I am a amateur cryptozoologist. I love cryptids. It's one of my hyperfixations that has stuck with me all this time. I became hyperfixated on them, and then I just never stopped. It's still there every day. And so the Fresno nightcrawler, for those of you who don't know, is a cryptid that has been spotted a few times in Fresno and I think like Yosemite. And it's basically, I guess the short answer is that it is just a big leggy boy who walks around. That's what they do. They walk with their legs because that's all they are. And I love that. That we live in a world where this creature from another dimension, a better place, falls into ours every once in a while, into our dystopian version of reality. And it just walks around for a little while because it's lost. And then I guess somebody comes to get him. And I really love that. I really love it. Why do they call him the night crawler? Night crawler? Does he look like he's crawling to you? That boy is walking. Show some respect on his name. He is walking, and he's walking so well. And I don't think that we should be disrespecting him in this way, in this fashion, but okay. So he's walking around with his legs, and people obviously don't know what they are. And what this reminds me of, not only is of my love for this creature, for this leggy boy, but also my delight every time I read the cryptid wiki about these guys, because to my knowledge, it's hilarious. They list like these explanations for every cryptid and what it could be, what people could be seeing. And I specifically remember reading the explanations for the Fresno nightcrawler, and I was like, I'm gonna tweet this out or something. This is hilarious, and I forgot to. So again, Emmy, shout out to you. Thank you for reminding me that they exist. Because I'm looking it up really quick. Yeah, I just remember the explanations being so funny. It's like so obvious that we can't explain this one. Like even with Mothman, you guys know that Mothman is like the love of my life. Even with Mothman, there are some decent explanations. With this one, it's like they're basically admitting like, yeah, nobody knows what this is. A leggy boy. This is a pair of legs walking around among us. It's an alien. It's a leg alien, a leg monster. Oh, here it is. Yes. Oh my God, it's so fucking funny. Okay, ready? So the explanations. This means again that what this cryptid and these sightings could be. Maybe people are mistaking this creature for something more mundane, something less scary, something normal. Like an alien or an extraterrestrial being, which are the same thing. A new species, possibly a primate with short arms. Yeah, they're gonna be pretty short, pretty damn short, like a friggin' half-inch long arms. Really? The next one, I can't even. Who the hell wrote this shit? A misidentified deer standing upright. Hello? Has this person ever seen a deer before? What? A deer? Misidentified deer standing upright. Yeah, walking around. A deer. Really? This is a deer? Have you ever seen a deer? Again, not so sure. Unlikely. I think it's unlikely that this person has ever seen a deer. It's okay. You can admit it, that you've never seen a deer. And also, when's the last time you saw a deer walking upright? That alone is a cryptid. It's the walking deer. That alone is a cryptid. The next one is perfect. No, that's not an alien. It's not a monster. It's not a creature. It's pants. Pants on the loose. Pants walking among us without an owner, without a wearer. Like, okay, if the explanation for the Fresno nightcrawler is pants, then we've got an even bigger problem on our hands. Let's try to figure out why this pair of fucking pants is walking at night in the middle of Yosemite National Park. How about? Let's try to focus on that. That's a whole new cryptid, my friends. Pants, the walking pants on the loose, a wild pair of pants appeared. Really? Yeah, we've got bigger fish to fry if this really is pants. Assholes. Yeah, pants. Okay. And the other one is a puppet on a wire. a puppet on a wire. You do realize that in order for it to be a puppet, unless it's a haunted puppet, which we will take, someone theoretically has to be behind the puppet, not physically behind it, but like responsible for the puppet, controlling the puppet, if you will. So that is another thing that we'll need to explain. Then the next one is fucking perfect. It's fantastic. They just keep getting better. It's quite amazing, actually. The next one is a bird walking like a crane. A bird walking like a crane? You mean a crane? A crane is a bird. But no, this bird is walking like a crane. As if birds have the capacity to like mock other birds. Like, I'm like, look at me, I'm a crane. I think I'm all that. Like, what does that even mean? A bird walking like a crane. So a crane. So essentially what you mean is a crane. Because I know of one bird that walks like a crane, and that is a crane, the noble crane. What does that even mean? It's just worded so funny. The last one is, it just brings me so much joy in my life. The last explanation that Cryptid Wiki has for the Fresno Nightcrawler is a person wearing big pants and walking on stilts. You know what? Sure. Yeah. I mean, hey, you never know. Stranger things have happened, right? Than a person wearing big, huge pants so big that they envelop him. And he's also walking on stilts at 3 o'clock in the morning for no one to see. Not for all to see, but for no one to see. Yeah. I caught this man on my Ring doorbell camera who is wearing big, huge pants. Can't even see his face. They're pulled up all the way around his head. And he's also, in addition to wearing big pants, which is already notable, he's also walking on stilts. He's a pretty talented individual, you know? And if he's not hurting anyone, let him do it. Let him have his big pants. Let him keep his stilts. And let him walk. Let him walk in Fresno. No, I really think it's an alien. I really do. It's very hard to explain. There are pictures and videos. And these pictures and videos are like, I don't know, they feel real. Like, you know how when you watch the Patterson Gimlin film of Bigfoot, you're kind of like, it doesn't, you're not feeling the spark, as I would say. You know, you just don't feel like it's real. You're like, I don't really know how to explain what's going on there, but I don't think it's Bigfoot, you know? And then even like, you know, pictures of aliens, pictures of this, pictures of that. Most of the time for me personally, I'm always like, I think there's another thing at play here. I think that these people are playing us, basically. I think we're getting played. I don't think this is real. I just am not feeling, again, the spark. With the Fresno Nightcrawler, I'm feeling the spark. I'm feeling the spark. This feels real to me. It feels like a leggy boy who is here for whatever reason, and he's not supposed to be here. I think he's lost. I think he means us no harm. Because look at him. He's got them legs. I think he could do a lot of harm if he wanted to. What's stopping him? What is stopping him from taking us all out? Nothing. I think he's here. I think he's lost. I think he means us no harm. And I think that the fact that Cryptid Wiki has just the worst fucking explanations possible is so bad. Like, you could tell that they were milking a fucking rock for this shit. Pants is one of the explanations. Okay, well, explain the pants then, please. Could you explain the pants that are walking on their own, please? Yeah, I believe in the Fresno Nightcrawler. I do. I believe in him. He has my support. He has my support and my love. Always. Ooh, we got Kath over here. Oh, fuck yeah, this is perfect. Kath asked if I was ever into creepypasta and if I have a favorite creepypasta. Fucking love this question. One of the things I love to do on the internet is like listen to people tell scary stories like on YouTube. I am literally a 12-year-old. Like Matt will be like, "What are you watching?" It's like somebody telling like top 10 scary stories from Reddit. And Matt's like, "Are you 12?" And I'm like, "Stop, get away from me." But I don't know if those are like creepypastas because like they're obviously not true. That's the thing. I'm a 12-year-old. I guess that's why I love creepypastas. But yeah, even though I listen to like so many of those, I don't know if they're creepypastas. And so I'm probably just going to end up naming things that I know for sure are considered creepypastas. Probably all going to be basic. Like I'm probably a basic creepypasta bitch because I am 12 years old in spirit. The first one that comes to mind is Pen Pal, which is kind of one of the most popular, like really long ones. It's just like really engaging. Like I've read it like so many times, and it's just I can't ever put it down, even though I know how it ends. It's just really engaging. It's like a slow burn. It takes its time revealing things, and it might like drop something somewhere and then not pick it back up until like way later. And I love a story like that. It's about like this kid who is like reflecting on his life because he's had a stalker his whole life, because when he was in kindergarten, his class, like they tied letters to balloons and let them go, which I do not condone, by the way, but it's a story, so I guess I'll let it slide. But anyway, his ends up with like a creepy stalker dude who like ruins his life. And there's like a lot of twists and turns. It's really good. And then another one that's like that, I think it's called 1999, and it's about like a guy who's investigating like this creepy like local broadcasting show, which basically it was like a creepy, crazy person trying to lure kids in, and he's like investigating it. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I fucking love Ben Drowned. I love Ben Drowned. I think it's so good. Like, I don't know. People give it shit because it's like, or do they? Do they give it shit? I don't know. It's like, I think it was the first ever like haunted game story. Dude, that is such a good fucking premise. I love that shit. Oh my God, that shit gets me every time I'm in that. I'm like, oh my God, he really did get a haunted copy of Majora's Mask. Oh my God. Oh my God, Ben really did drown, yo. Like, I'm like watching it and it's like, it pulls me in. I love that fucking story. It's so good. I think it's good. I really do. Another one that's like that, oh my God, is the Godzilla one, the Godzilla NES. Italian Kiss, so fucking good. I don't care. It's a creepypasta, whatever. But those are good, and they are like, you know, they're like they created a genre. You know what I mean? And I love that genre of creepypasta. Like just in general, like just the haunted game thing. Like obviously, people take it way too far. They always ruin it. They drive it into the ground, like always. But I mean, the whole Lavender Town thing with the Pokemon games is also it's really good. It's very creepy. But the thing I love about creepypastas is that they like created this whole genre of like people on message boards, like just sharing their stories. So it has this element that it like kind of feels real, even though what this person's saying is obviously not real. It feels real because it's not, written by like this like literary genius. It's just written by like a regular person. And they're just like, this is what happened to me. It was fucking weird. I don't know. I love creepypastas though. I love scary stories in general. My current hyperfixation, I think it's everybody's current hyperfixation right now, to be honest. Definitely mine. I think I've watched everything there is to watch on YouTube, which is saying a lot. And I've like run out of content, but I want more of it. So I keep watching it over and over. Is stuff about lost media. I cannot stop watching this shit. I don't even know, like, I guess it's just like, there's like an air of like mystery around it, but it's just so compelling. It's just, I love it. I've watched everything on the internet about it, I think, and I want more, but I don't think there is more. I don't know, because it's probably lost. I cannot stop watching stuff about lost media. I really can't. I watch Blame It on Jorge's Lost Media Iceberg at least once a week. I watch the whole thing once a week. I don't know why. It just gives me like comfort, or I think that there's going to be something like new that I haven't heard yet. I don't know. But that's my current hyperfixation, which is not a creepypasta or related to creepypasta at all. Actually, it is, because there's creepypastas about lost media, but what are these two? Oh my God. They are tag teaming this flower with their magnifying glasses. Oh my God, they're both doing science together. I can't do this. Do you ladies have any idea exactly what you're doing in public right now? Oh my God. Look at them. Y'all both got your magnifying glasses out. Yep, Diana's being the main character as always. Wow, she's gonna whip it back out. Yep. Look at her. Look at them go. Wow. This is like a meet cute. Wow. They're like really like in this together. Look at them. Oh my God. How long are they going to do this? Like, are they looking at the flower or each other? Oh my God, sparks fly. Oh my God. Oh my God. Lily waved to her, and then she came all the way around because they locked eyes. It seems like more and more people are reading books on their phone these days, But honestly, I still prefer reading books on paper. Of course you do, Lily. I know how you feel, Cricket. These days, folks are always sending messages on their phone, but I still prefer to send letters. I love putting pen to paper as I take the time to write a thoughtful note to a friend. It's a lovely way to connect. Oh my god, this is a lovely way to connect. I never would have saw this coming. Never. The game is doing its thing, people. Oh yes, exactly. There's nothing like reading a great book and passing it on to your friends, Cricket. Your friend, Lily? Yeah, 10 out of 10 historians said that Lily and Diana were roommates. That's all I'll say. Then, once they're done, you can talk to them about all the unique characters and surprising plot twists. Oh my god. Well, what an eye-opening conversation this has been, Lily. Little did I know we had so much in common. We really must chat more often, Cricket. They both got their magnifying glasses out. This is like... I don't know. I just don't even have any words. How long are they gonna do this? Is this a date? Am I crashing y'all's date? They're just gonna stare. Let's see, how long are they gonna do this? I'm not going anywhere, ladies. I'm sorry. I don't think that y'all are really doing science. Not anymore. Lily's staring at her. What is going... Oh! Again? What on earth was that? Y'all just cannot stay away from each other. Oh my god. They're acting all coy, all shy and shit. Yeah, these girls are in love. I'm sorry. Yeah, wow. I've never seen something that genuinely adorable and cute and just like so real in my life. Wow. Lily and Diana, I really personally did not see that coming, but okay, I invite it, of course. No way. I came out of the store and they're still here together doing this. I think they're gonna be here all night. Yeah, this is not about the flower. It's really not. Oh my god. Look at them. I have never seen anything like this in my life. What are you doing, Lily? Oh my god. They just made eye contact. Lily smiled and then looked away because she's a shy little bitch. Diana is looking at her through the magnifying glass. Look at them. Y'all are not slick. Oh my god, they're so shy. Look at them looking away and shit, trying to think of what to say, what to do. I'm not going anywhere, not until one of them leaves. Oh my god, Lily's got her water bottle out. Oh my god, this is bad. What is she doing? Oh my god. Diana. Girl, you are not slick. Diana. Oh. Yeah, she knows how to play the game. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's like, I've got to go just take a seat. She didn't. She did not. She put on the glasses, the choker. Yeah, Diana's out here trying to get a girl. Yeah, Diana. You know what? Are you leaving? Oh my god, look at Lily. I'm sorry, but Lily was watching her. Yeah, she's trying to act all slick like she's looking at the pop-up book, Lily. I saw that. Diana put... Diana's taking her out so hard. Oh my god. Did y'all see that? Diana gave her the side eye, came over and looked her from top to bottom. Diana checked her out. So she's doing it again. She is doing it in broad daylight. This girl. Oh my god. Lily is clueless. Diana put on her glasses so that she could check Lily out. She made sure to have her reading glasses on so she could read that girl. Where are you going now? Oh, this is Lily's house, by the way. Hello. Yeah, I'm doing this, Diana, because you know what? You're not going to get away with this, girlfriend. I am documenting every moment of this tea. Look at Lily. She's trying to be slick. You just looked in there, girl. It doesn't change. Oh my god, she's snooping through Lily's shit. Look at her. She's going right in. She's snooping through Lily's shit. Oh my god. The girl is shameless. Yeah, I see ya, girl. And you know what? I completely support it 100%. I did not see this coming. Lily is still out here doing science. I guess she was serious. I think Lily was serious. Diana is just playing the game. Lily, you just watered it, girlfriend. You're gonna actually kill it. My sweet Lily. Where's Miss Diana? She thinks she's slick. She really does. She thinks she's slick. Sometimes shit just happens, and that just happened. Look at these two. I was just asking Pierce what kind of sports he plays, as if you don't know. I do just about everything. But the thing I'm super amped about right now is hula dancing. Oh my god, himbo. Like, coolsy. I'll come to your next match or whatever and cheer you on. Oh my god. She's never had this conversation with Goose. These stories write themselves. Really? Cool, thanks. Make sure you watch me. I've come up with some all new moves and I'm dying to try them out. Oh my god, they're so cute. Like, she's so short, he's so tall. I gotta train hard so I can still win while watching your routine. Oh my god. Y'all are getting married and we love to see it. Oh my god. He was like looking around and then he looked back at her and now he's watching her workout. He's like spotting for her. He's not going anywhere either. He's just watching her. What if I walk away for a second? Oh my god.